Hello, everybody. This is Moshe Rothschild from the Global Israel Alliance here. Friday, June 19th, 2020. Here is the weekly update from Israel, the news, a summary of the news from Israel. So I hope you're all doing well. And here's what happened this week in Israel. About 20 families are scheduled to move this summer to a new town on the Golan Heights called Trump Heights. Israel officially approved this new town named for President Donald Trump. Of course, he was the president that recognized Israel's sovereignty over the Golan Heights, so appropriately they named a town after him. The corona infections this week in Israel, unfortunately, have soared. Today, Friday, there were, in the last 24 hours, 349 new infections. The government is blaming it on the people's indifference to restrictions. And if it continues to rise, the government may need to take some serious action. But right now, the mortality rate is very low. So while the infections are going up, the seriousness of those who've been infected has not. So definitely keeping an eye on that one. A great way to end the week with a story from Cyprus. There was a baby born with congenital heart defect. Was born 10 days ago in Cyprus. It was actually born to a Syrian refugee family that had fled Syria, ended up in Cyprus. The baby was then flown to Israel for a heart transplant at the Sheba Medical Center in Tel Aviv. No pun intended, but a heartwarming story. Secretary of State of the United States, Mike Pompeo, slammed Iran this week for its record on anti-Semitism and as a threat to world peace. And he praised, again, the U.S.-Israel relationship. He cited Iran as being the worst source of inciting hatred towards Israel and Jews in the world. But we already knew that one. This week, Israeli fighters launched airstrikes against Hamas positions in the Gaza Strip after terrorists fired rockets into Israel territory on Monday evening. The IDF planes launched a counterstrike pounding positions belonging to Hamas, which has until now brutally ruled Gaza, the coastal enclave, for now a decade and a half. This week, in the first meeting with a foreign leader since Corona, Netanyahu met with the leader of Greece. I cannot pronounce his name properly. I believe it's Kyriakos Mitsotakis, something like that. And they discussed amongst the issues were security, bilateral ties, tourism between our countries. We're hoping that August 1st, Israel will open up tourism to Greece and to Cyprus. Hopefully, the United States will follow after that at some point. So that was a very positive meeting this week. The United Arab Emirates said their foreign minister, their foreign minister this week said that they are able to work with Israel despite their political differences. This is an incredible development. Of course, Israel's been developing relationships with Saudi Arabia, now with the United Arab Emirates, and this would be an incredible advancement for the region. The Israel Navy this week thwarted a Hamas weapons smuggling operation. A joint operation between the Israeli Navy and the IDF intelligence resulted in thwarting an attempt to smuggle weapons into the Gaza Strip from the coast of the northern Sinai. This is what the IDF released this week. This week, the Jewish state, it has been announced, is ranked 5th in the world in financial technology investment after China, the United States, Britain, and India. Investment in Israeli financial technology companies rose by, 107% this past year, recording a record $1.8 billion of investment, which is incredible. And the final story I'll share with you is that this week, 3 Israeli generals refused the request of Benny Gantz, who's now the Speaker of the Knesset, to lead the annexation plan. The Channel 12 here reported that the generals are afraid to take on such a job of such a politically charged job. So that's about it. It's almost Shabbat here in Israel. Wishing you a peaceful, wonderful Shabbat. And until next week, this is Moshe Rothschild bringing you the news from Israel. Have a great day.